My name is Jordan Brashears. I'm a 3D designer at Westar Aviation in East Alton. A typical project for a 3D designer here at Westar would encompassing talking with the designers beforehand, accumulating all the materials that will be needed. Once I get those materials, I will then take photos of them or go online, find resources that way, and create tileable textures from there that we can implement into our system. Create all the materials, then I will go and cross-reference any models that we have if it currently correlates or relates to the design aspect that they're wanting. If it does, then I can just use that model. If not, then I have to recreate the model from scratch. We do multiple iterations, showcasing the client, version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then slowly narrowing down the scope. By the end of it, we'll have a full interior of their new design with multiple schematics and showcasing a fake plane, hopefully as real as possible, of what their new jet will look like. My work directly works with operations by them being able to visualize and see the concept that the designer's intent is, being able to view ratios, and when they're laying out or when they're creating the seat or any design within the cabin, they have a reference point to go back and check. How we ensure model integrity with real life and make sure that the objects are what we say they are is typically, if the plane's here, I can physically go out. I'll take measurements of the seat, the depth, the width, all the different creases of it, and jot those down. And then in 3ds Max, we can actually model it to those specs. Typically, 3D visualization will occur once the designer has talked with the client and kind of narrowed down the scope of their intent. So what the seat's going to look like, the materials that are used, and they're just needing to visualize it fully so that the client can say yes or no. Typically, it's mid to late stage of the design process. The most valuable skills would be, one, to be artistic, to have a good eye with color theory. Second would be very intellectual when it comes to problem solving, because you're going to come across so many different ways of doing something, but they create issues down the line. If you don't foresee it, then you're just going to kind of pinch yourself into a corner and try to figure a way to get out of it. The culture is very inviting. That was one of the big things that actually made me want to work here when I went through my interview process. Just seeing how the people from the floor to the people in the office, and they're intermingling even with each other, even though they're so far apart, made me feel like it was more of a family type atmosphere. As I got hired on and started interacting with just the internal designers and stuff, there's a sense of camaraderie and collaboration that's pretty unmatched in most companies. My biggest inspiration is just trying to perfect my craft and create the most realistic thing possible that is indistinguishable from real life.